July 19, 2021. Meeting of New Caney Independent School District Board of Trustees, current time 6:02. Let the minutes show the quorum is present with all members in attendance. Please rise for the invocation given by Ms. Harrell. Remain standing for pledge of allegiance and honor the Texas flag led by Mr. Nixon. Item 2 on the agenda is the consideration of the approval of the 2019-2020 financial audit. Presented by Mr. Greg. How are you, sir?
Doing good. How are you?
Step up.
All right. Well, my name is Greg Peterson. I'm an audit partner at Weaver, and it is my pleasure to present the results of the audit tonight. Let's see here. All right. So the whole purpose of our audit is to render an opinion on the financial statements. So the opinion that we have given these financial statements is an unmodified or clean opinion. So this is the highest level of assurance that you can receive in an audit. Our audit was conducted in accordance with general auditing standards and government auditing standards. So in addition to auditing the financial numbers, we also audit the district's federal programs. When we looked at these federal programs, we selected the child nutrition program for testing. And again, we issued an unmodified or clean opinion on the child nutrition program. Next, we're going to go over some required communications. So I think you may have received like a 3-page letter, maybe sitting in front of you. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over some of the high points of that letter. So Weaver's responsibility in relation to the financial statements is to render an informed opinion. We obviously issued an unmodified opinion. We also were required to remain in compliance with ethical requirements. We remain independent throughout the audit. Also want to point out some qualitative aspects of the significant accounting policies. So this will be footnote 1 in your financial statements. I just want to point out that there were no new accounting policy changes during the fiscal year. And we see the most sensitive accounting estimates in these financial statements is the allowance for uncollectible taxes and the estimate of foundation program revenue. We feel that all the disclosures are neutral, consistent, and clear in these financial statements. We did not encounter any significant difficulties during the audit. We did not have any uncorrected or corrected misstatements. We had no disagreements with management. Management did provide us with a red letter, and management did not consult with other accountants during the audit process. So now we'll take a quick look at some of the actual numbers in the financial statements. So we'll take a look at the general fund. So this is on page 22 of the actual audit report itself. What we're going to look at is just the income statement from the general fund. So we have total revenues of $165 million. The local portion of that revenue is made from your local property taxes. The state program revenue is from your foundation and available school funding. And the federal revenue is part of your federal programs, so the reimbursements you get related to your federal programs. You have total expenditures of $160 million, with the largest functional expenses being instruction related, which makes sense considering we're in a school district and instruction will be the largest functional expense. You had total transfers out of $245,000. That was to help supplement the child nutrition program. And then we had an overall change or increase in your fund balance of about $4.4 million. Now, when we look at the change in your fund balance, we want to kind of compare that to what the budget was. So you originally budgeted for a $2.2 million increase in general fund balance, but you actually had a positive variance from your budget of a positive $2.2 million variance. So you actually brought in more revenue or had excess revenues over your budget. And additionally, the district had about 90 days of operating expenses in your unassigned fund balance. So that's really, kind of the key mark everybody wants to hit is roughly that 3 months of operating expense. Next, we'll look at your debt service. So your debt service fund had total revenues of $27.7 million. The local piece being your INS property tax rate. And then you have some state funding of $4.2 million. You have total expenditures of $29.5 million. All of that is just related to debt service and principal interest payments. You did have a debt refunding during the year, which netted a net other financing source of $247,000. There was a decrease in overall debt service fund balance of $1.5 million. That's just a result of current debt service requirements. The debt service fund did have adequate fund balance to cover that deficit. So you had an ending fund balance of $7.1 million. And then lastly, we'll look at your capital project fund. So here you had total revenues of $1.3 million. Most of that is just interest earnings from the unspent proceeds. So when you issue the debt, it sits up in cash and earns interest until it's spent down. So that's the $1.3 million of revenue. Then you have $32.2 million of capital expenses. So that's just money going out for capital improvements. Net change in fund balance is a decrease of $30.9 million, which is generally how that works. Your fund balance goes up when you issue the debt, you don't spend it down. The next year, you start incurring those costs, your fund balance decreases. So you had an ending fund balance in your capital project fund of $92.9 million. And that's really kind of the conclusion of my presentation. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
So each year is something that we do, so if you're talking to the public, basically, what are you, in this audit, what are you, in the big scheme of things, what are we looking to make sure that the district is using the funds that we receive and that we know exactly where all the money went?
So what we're saying in this, from our audit, is that the numbers that are presented are materially stable.
Okay.
So there aren't any material errors in these financial statements. So what we're saying is ending fund balance is materially correct.
Thank you, we appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thank
I guess
you.
we'll see you next year.
Yes, sir.
So are there any other questions or further discussion? Is there a motion to approve the 2019-2020 financial audit? Motion has been moved and seconded. There will be no further discussion. A vote will be taken. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion is approved. We're going to move item 3 a little bit later on. We're going to move into item 4, which is open forum. We have one signed up tonight. So Martinez will ask you to come to the front, and I will read our open forum statement for you. You know how it works. Come on. So let me get this all ready to go. Angie, can you hold the clock for us? Angie's going to hold the clock for us. So I'm going to read the quick little statement for you, and then you'll have 5 minutes like we always do, okay? How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Don't
Good.
get better in 5 minutes.
Good. So I'm going to go ahead. So I'm going to go ahead and read our statement, and then that way we'll go ahead and let you go ahead and speak. So the board encourages comments from citizens of the district or employees Anyone wishing to speak either as an individual or represent as a group may do so at this time. The board asks that comments pertain to public education issues and be no longer than 5 minutes. Remember, the board may not discuss any issues that are not posted on our agenda. If an issue mentioned is listed on tonight's agenda, the board would defer discussion to appropriate time during this meeting. In addition, the board has adopted complaint policies that are designed to secure at the lowest administration level a prompt and equitable resolution of complaints and concerns. And this is all on our website at NCISD.org. So you go ahead and start, and you're ready to go.
Okay, I have two concerns. The first one actually deals with COVID-19 in the schools. I understood that there were approximately 800 students who would return to secondary school from those who had either failed or had missed days. And then Tuesday, after the December board meeting, it was stated that secondary athletes had to return on January the 5th. I then called the school to find out how many cases, confirmed cases have been at Porter High School as well as Woodridge Forest Middle School, because those are the schools that my children attend. And from August the 5th until December the 18th, there were like 70 cases at Porter High School, 18 cases at Woodridge Forest Middle School. Of those cases, 56 were students at Porter, 10 were students at Woodridge Forest, 9 were remote at Porter, and 3 were remote at Woodridge Forest. Since school has actually resumed, I've been keeping all of the laserfish emails, and so as of January the 5th up until today, Porter High School has had 13 confirmed cases. Woodridge Forest has had 4. Prior to that, the schools were averaging about 14 cases per month, and I do know that there were high school students in sports that were big in the summer with that. My kids have returned to school, and these are some of my concerns. There are teachers in the classroom not reminding the students to wear their masks in the classroom. People in position of authority in the district not wearing their masks at indoor sporting events or maintaining reasonable distance. Schools in general are not hotspots, but the staff should feel that they have the authority to have students wear their masks as per the district rules. When students are asked to return, such as on January the 5th, the district as a whole should have been informed and a process should have been in place. I spoke to counselors who were unaware that students would need to change schedules and were not accounted for at the time when the athletes were told they had to go back to school. When most parents began to ask questions after that December 14th board meeting, it was difficult to actually find a unified and answer or response. And I called and emailed several people in regards to this before we sent our children back to school. COVID-19 follows, for COVID-19, I'm just saying follow the established district rules. Don't have them listed if you're not trying to actually ensure the safety of those students inside those enclosed areas, such as in the classrooms and the gymnasiums. Also, in regards to the dashboard, our dashboard shows confirmed cases. I wish the district would actually look at Humble ISD dashboard to actually allow for more information for parents to go and find that information, instead of having to go through different people at the district level to find out how many cases we have had total. In regards to the second point on demographics, our student population is 60% Hispanic, our teacher is 70% white. Some of our schools have more than 70% economically disadvantaged students. We need to have vetted teachers whose misdemeanors may need to be evaluated a little better. We need a superintendent who has a strong educational background to uplift the economically disadvantaged students to a higher academic level. It was disheartening to me to hear about the number of Title I schools that we now have in the district, and a superintendent who actually took advantage of those school funds. Thus for this area and its past, it may be difficult to find a superintendent who can work for the advancement of the district, but as a parent, I ask you to look outside of this district for someone who's going to be there in order to ensure that our student population are being raised to a higher level academically, and also willing to bring in a whole new set of ideas as it relates to this district. There is no reason for this district, with the money that it has and the financial report that we just had, for our students to not be in some of those top areas as it relates to academics. And then the last thing, and I'll discuss this with principals later, but there are some of the teachers in the classroom who allow these students to just take their mask off, fold them up, and put them on their desk, and then they'll have a full class. It hasn't happened once or twice, it happens routinely. And as a parent, I do ask my children to come home and report to me what is going on in those classrooms, because I'm trusting you to follow the district guidelines that you established for them. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 5 on the agenda is closed meeting. The board will now meet in closed meeting under authority of Texas Government Code 551.074 for the purpose of personal matters, Government Code 551.071 for attorney consultation, and Government Code 551.072 for deliberation regarding the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. Any action as a result of closed session discussion will take place for the board reconvenes in open meeting. Current time, 6:17. We're in closed meeting at 8:08. Reconvenes in open session. We're going to now come back to item 3. Mr. Powell, I really enjoyed your videos on your school. Encouraging. I did walk by that point and watch you run. I was driving and I got tired twice watching you. It was inspiring.
It was rough.
I felt so bad. It was the coldest day of the year.
Yeah.
I love the one when you had the ice on the island. That was great.
I think the kids loved it.
They did.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, I was asked to speak tonight and explain those gifts in front of you all. First off, you guys know me, Mr. Powell, principal at Surpassing Middle School. A few days ago, I saw this quote that reminded me a lot of this school year. Direction is so much more important than speed. This year has been exceptional. We have faced challenges as a district that we have never even considered. There have been countless obstacles this year that we have navigated, but we have never ceased to continue moving forward. Even though these things have been hard, the school board has been here for us. They have given us direction and have provided us with the compass. The clear direction that they have given us, our true north, has been to put our kids first. This has been our focus throughout the pandemic. That's why we chose the compass as the symbol for School Board Appreciation Month. We appreciate each of you. Thank you for the countless hours that were spent planning and helping us move in the right direction. The student, staff, and community really does appreciate you. Inside the boxes, don't throw the boxes away. There's a bunch of candy, there's Dr. Pepper, and there's gift cards to Buster's Brew, and there's a gift card to Fish Tales too. We felt like it'd be super important to support small businesses in our community because they need love right now. And so just want to let you guys know we really do appreciate y'all. Thank you for all that you do.
All right. Item 6 on the agenda, Superintendent's report. Mr. Calvert.
Get an update on some different things going on in the district.
Okay. So moving to item 7, proposals of board members. I wanted to just kind of give you guys an idea because I know that the campuses, because you guys are all our leaders, and so we'll try to keep you guys in touch as much as we can concerning the superintendent search. So the superintendent search, as many of you know, we've been working on it. So this is, you guys understand it, but some of the community doesn't realize there's a lot of things that we've been doing behind the scenes to begin the process. Because obviously we want to find the most qualified candidate to lead New Caney ISD as we continue to move forward. It's very important that as a board that this is our one job, is to do this, and we certainly don't want to get this wrong. So the board and the search consultant met last week to work on establishing some criteria in search after. We also did a survey, which we had over 1,300 responses. I know for myself, and I think a lot of these guys here, we spent the time to go through the book. It was about that thick, but it was important for us as a group to understand what people's voice, and we felt like it was important for these individuals that took the time, which was 1,300 of them, for their voices to be heard. Some of them were one-liners, and some of them were 900-word commentaries. But that's what we wanted to do during the survey, is to give the public and our employees the opportunity to be able to speak. And I Again, I'm happy to report that the applications based on the agreed criteria that we worked on has now been posted in multiple places, and the application process will run through February 12th. So we will keep that open through February 12th, which is Friday. Yeah, so Friday before we get out, we will close it, and then the board will move towards reviewing the applications. We will be closed that next week, so that next week we'll come back and we will begin the reviewing process. And our goal is to continue to keep you guys in the loop as much as you can, because I know that the questions are being asked out there. So we wanted to give that to you tonight, that the job has been posted with the criteria, and the close date is February 12th. So Mr. Mixon has a couple thoughts that I've asked him to share.
Thank you, Chad. The administration, the board, also, and I know we had heard a report on the audit tonight from Weaver. That is an audit that is procedurally done every year. It's not the audit, I would say it's to ensure that what our balances are accurate, but the board administration, we're also looking to engage an outside audit firm. It's basically to review our internal processes in light of the allegations that levied against our former superintendent, even though the board has no information of any transgressions or other involved persons beyond those. He's solely charged with perpetrating. The board wants to ensure that we continue to be appropriate public stewards of our district funds. So we're looking to engage in another audit that will actually give the new superintendent a clear bill of financial stability and where we're at, to ensure that our policies protect us from this. And that's supported by everyone. This is like that for our district. In addition, each one of us might be good public stewards of our money. Lastly, I want to thank our employees and the community for the support we've provided to the board and administration during this trying time. We sincerely do appreciate it. We know that it has been a whirlwind, not just with COVID, but the type of school year that we've had. This really just it has been a very trying time for this district, and I cannot say enough how they can be on the campuses and see how you guys are engaged every way with these kids. They still remain to be your number one focus. And never more proud, even being a graduate in your kindergarten, to be a part of the Caney ISD. And so I cannot thank you enough. Very much appreciated.
Did you graduate in 88?
No, okay. That was kind of that was a good one.
It was a joke. Thank you. Yes, we do. We appreciate you guys' support, because again, none of us know. We can say we understand, but none of us face the trials and tribulations that you guys go through every single day. Not only just the education side of it, but the employee side of it. And we know it's no, we don't know. None of us really truly know what you guys are fighting every day. We want to know we're here to support you in any way that we can, and we appreciate the hard work. I mean, I talked to a lot of our teachers, and right now it's the toughest time they've ever faced to teach because of just all the things that they're fighting through. So we appreciate you guys trying to keep them motivated, because, I mean, we're here, we're all in the school business, which means we're in the kid business. So we appreciate the support you guys give us. So moving on to item 8 is the agenda's consent calendar, consisting of consideration of minutes, consideration of financial report, consideration of purchasing report, consideration of personnel report, and consideration of House Bill 3 goals and proficiency plans. Are there any questions or further discussion? Is there a motion to approve the items on the consent calendar? Motion has been moved and seconded. There being no further discussion, a vote will be taken. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The motion is approved. Item 9 on the agenda is consideration of middle school zones 2020, 2021, and 2022. Presented by Mr. Calvin.
Yes, sir. This is our secondary zone on high school. This is the presentation we shared with you guys back in December. We always open that up for public comment. As of today, we had 13 comments through the email. We had 164 views of our YouTube meetings that we had last Tuesday. And then we had 6 community members present there. So our staff has addressed all those questions and feel confident moving forward with the recommendation we shared with y'all last December regarding the rezoning New Caney Middle, Kiefer, and as such, the high schools as well.
And also, just so that everybody understands and the public understands that, you know, these decisions aren't something that they just do overnight. This takes a considerable amount of time for them to do. It's also something that we also have had additional workshops and have asked a lot of difficult questions of our administration to see what options we have. And at the end of the day, this is the best option for the kids. So that's why we're recommending, that's recommended that we move forward with this consideration of the middle school zones. So are there any other questions or further discussion? Is there a motion to approve middle school zones 2021 and 2022? Motion has been moved and seconded. There being no further discussion. A vote will be taken. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The motion is approved. Item 10 and item 11 we're going to table. So with that being said, with there being no further business, the meeting is adjourned at 8:18.